Hey, Audra Edwards again, wrapping up the semester. So, our last discussion post this week was about George Marsden's The Outrageous Idea of Christian Scholarship. And so, I took a look at Marsden's content and methodology just because we've been kind of doing that all semester, and he is an extremely good writer. I can only hope to be able to write similarly. He's very approachable in his writing and very thorough, and he broke his argument down into this process that really does kind of convince his readers, or some of them, that his argument is an extremely valid one. So he starts off by establishing why Christian perspectives are treated as unwelcome in the university and the long history of Christian universities and how that kind of history has changed. He goes on to address the main arguments against the Christian perspectives, talking about how it's been a dominant perspective in the past and how we need to be more open. And then he also addresses how that openness in a way has closed the door to a Christian perspective. He then establishes how Christian perspectives do fit within the university model and within academic standards. And he really details how the addition of these Christian perspectives could be beneficial to the university, or would be beneficial. And then he actually calls on, in his last chapter, Christians to address the need of a Christian university that is well known and is, renowned for its research. And he says this is a void that we need to fill. Now, he draws upon a lot of secondary sources on religion in academia, but in a way those sources themselves are kind of primary as well, because he's actually talking about their perspectives being part of the argument. He makes a lot of references to cultural attitudes as well as to the past views on those same issues, and he addresses a lot of biblical concerns as well. Now, his book was not necessarily greeted with open arms among some. So I took a look at Catherine Wallace's review of his book, and she seems to see him as a very suave manipulator who is trying to convince people to kind of let these, I think she uses the word operatives, back into the university. And he actually addresses his critics in a kind of a reaction to the reviews. He actually writes a response to the reviews of The Outrageous Idea of Christian Scholarship. And in this article, he addresses he does it very gracefully. He addresses the criticisms, and he discusses how those concerns are actually addressed in the book, that may have missed this part, kind of, and he addresses those. So overall, Marsden's outrageous idea, after reading the book, doesn't really seem like that outrageous of an idea, and I think that's really the point that he's trying to make.